In L. Frank Baum's classic novel, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, he wrote, "Hearts will never be practical until they can be made unbreakable." As a survivor of heart disease, I choose to take this profound observation literally. I'm Corey Stevens, and I know a bit about broken hearts. Around my 44th birthday, I noticed a number of goofy little pains throughout my body. They came and they went, and I chose to ignore them for quite some time. But when my fingers went numb, I decided it was time to have things checked out. It was a decision that likely saved my life. Heart disease remains the #1 killer of men and women in the United States. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention estimates about 1 in 4 Americans die from the disease every year. This adds up to about 610,000 people. On top of this, an additional 735,000 Americans suffer heart attacks annually. The American Heart Association is a global organization leading the way in its fight against cardiovascular disease. At Bank West, we place our customers and our communities first, and one of our top priorities is promoting healthier lifestyles. Bank West is proud to be a total sponsor for the American Heart Association's annual Heart Ball, and we hope you'll join us in helping ensure hearts around the world become unbreakable.
Hi, I'm Holly Swee with the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, and we are pleased to be a partner of the American Heart Association here in South Dakota because they allow us the opportunity to share with you the large body of evidence that continues to show that lean beef can be part of a heart-healthy diet to help lower cholesterol as well as blood pressure. Many people don't realize that there are 9 extra lean beef cuts that now meet the requirements for the American Heart Association's Heart Checkmark program. To find out more information about these cuts, along with other Heart Checkmark approved recipes, visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Cheers to the American Heart Association, along with all who are in attendance at the Heart Ball. And hats off to our many beef producers. We appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful evening.
Hello and good evening. I'm Kevin Dietz, Executive Vice President of Security First Bank in Rapid City. Security First Bank is once again honored to be a sponsor of tonight's event and a proud supporter of the American Heart Association. When you donate to the American Heart Association, you are joining us in the fight against our nation's #1 and #5 killers, heart disease and stroke. Your donation will support life-saving efforts such as research, education, advocating for better health, and improving patient care. As the great Wizard of Oz himself said, a heart is not judged by how much you love, but by how much you are loved by others. Share the love in your heart for others tonight by making a donation. Together we can help save lives. Thank you for attending and enjoy the ball.
Hi, my name is Perry Vandesteg from RCS Construction here in Rapid City. We are proud to sponsor the wisdom, the courage, and the heart of the American Heart Association as they work tirelessly in the prevention and treatment of heart disease and stroke. As you meet this year's honorees, portrayed in the photo gallery and video, you will notice that heart disease has no prejudice as to age, from infancy to our seniors. In fact, about every 15 minutes, a child is born with a congenital heart defect, and nearly half of U.S. adults could be classified with high blood pressure under the new definitions. Our honorees and numerous others have benefited from the many advances made in the treatment of heart disease and stroke, including new medications to fight heart disease and new research into genome editing. Millions of Americans live with heart disease, stroke, or cardiovascular condition. It may be someone you know, a loved one, or even yourself. Your donation will help save and improve their lives with research, education, and emergency care. As you travel down the yellow brick road with us tonight, join RCS Construction in supporting the American Heart Association in their quest in preventing and treating heart disease and stroke.
Hello, I'm Steve Conzit, the Market President for Wells Fargo in Rapid City. Wells Fargo is a longtime sponsor of the annual Heart Ball because we believe that when our community sets its mind to something, we can accomplish great things together. Thanks to the efforts here and across the country, the American Heart Association raised more than $71 million last year. Tonight, let's find our courage, wisdom, and heart as we take a walk down the yellow brick road to fund life-saving research and prevention programs in South Dakota. On behalf of Wells Fargo, I want to thank you for supporting the American Heart Association and the Rapid City Heart Ball, where we celebrate the hard work and dedication of these healthcare professionals, donors, and survivors. Thank you for being here tonight. Let's click our heels together and revel in an evening of wonderment and joy. And remember, there's no place like Rapid City.
Good evening. I'm Jared Kottman, President of Northwestern Warehouse and Record Storage Solutions. On behalf of my family business of over 85 years, welcome to the American Heart Association's 2018 Heart Ball. The American Heart Association's success starts with you. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. So thank you for your lion's courage to the volunteers, the sponsors, and each of you who have joined us here tonight to support this amazing organization. When you support the American Heart Association, you are joining the team in the fight against our nation's first and fifth killers, heart disease and stroke. Your donations will support such life-saving efforts as research, education, advocating for better health, improving patient care, and reaching the greater populations at risk. In short, you are encouraging the lives of so many on their journey following their special Yellow Brick Road. So tonight, I challenge you to show us how big your heart is, Tin Man. Bid large, bid often. Enjoy and have a blessed evening.
Good evening and welcome to the Heart Ball. As we enter the world of Oz this evening, we are reminded of the adventures life can take us on. And in the end, there's no place like home. For me, Rapid City is home, and I'm glad to be a proud sponsor of the American Heart Association Heart Ball and the services and benefits it provides to our community. The Leighton Gustafson Joint Venture Team is proud to be a part of the growth and expansion of regional health and the future home of the heart doctors. As you can see tonight, these facilities, along with the talented doctors and their dedicated staff, are changing lives in Rapid City. Thank you to the American Heart Association for keeping the importance of heart health in the forefront. On behalf of myself and the entire team of Leighton Gustafson Joint Ventures, thank you for coming and enjoy your night in Emerald City.
Good evening. My name is Paulette Davidson, Chief Operating Officer of Regional Health and President of the Regional Health Rapid City Hospital and Market. In this past year, the American Heart Association provided funding for 3 research projects in South Dakota at the University of South Dakota and South Dakota State University. They trained 40,000 South Dakotans in life-saving CPR. The American Heart Association also worked with many of our local advocates to pass legislation requiring that all South Dakota high school students learn hands-on only CPR, helping to provide 8,000 trained lifesavers for our state every year. There are approximately 400 heart attacks a year in the Black Hills region. In fact, almost every day, Regional Health is saving a heart attack victim. This is meaningful work every minute, every hour, every day. Just like in The Wizard of Oz, it took several people to help the Tin Man find his heart. It's clear it takes an entire community to support the efforts of the American Heart Association. We're honored to have the American Heart Association as our partner in caring for our patients, their families, and our community. I encourage everyone to help support the American Heart Association tonight.
Good evening. I'm Nick Gardner, Vice President of Electric Operations for Black Hills Energy. At Black Hills Energy, we believe that working together makes us all stronger. As a community partner for 135 years, we want to continue to help strengthen our community by impacting the lives of those we serve. We aim not only to provide you with the safe, reliable electric service you rely on, but also to provide a different kind of energy through our employee involvement and support of worthy causes like the American Heart Association. We're proud to support this event tonight and all that the American Heart Association does to change the lives of those affected by heart disease. On behalf of myself and all of us at Black Hills Energy, thank you and enjoy your evening.
Skull Construction is proud to support the American Heart Association and its mission to build healthier lives free of cardiovascular disease and stroke. Tonight, Skull Construction would like you to put your heart into it and celebrate the wisdom and courage of the physicians, donors, and volunteers whose dedication to this mission is truly a celebration of the heart.
Good evening and welcome to the 2018 Heart Ball. At First Interstate, one of our core values is our commitment to the communities where we live. Tonight we are privileged to support the American Heart Association and its commitment to making our communities better and a healthier place to live. With the advances in medicine pioneered by the Heart Association and funded in part by your contributions, medical professionals in our area have been able to literally save thousands of lives. Tonight is not only about celebrating the work of the American Heart Association, but also to acknowledge and thank the medical professionals who work every day to enrich the lives of their patients. I am the first in line to say how grateful I am for their work. On behalf of First Interstate Bank, thank you for supporting the Heart Association and have a wonderful evening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Drew Purdy, and I represent Family Fuel, a locally owned, family-oriented company bringing Scooters Coffee to the Black Hills. Our family has been involved in the Heart Ball for many years, but now we are pleased to be corporate sponsors with a host of other generous sponsors supporting the American Heart Association. Our lofty goal at Scooters is to be the best drive-through coffee franchise in the U.S. The American Heart Association's lofty goals is to reduce cardiovascular disease by 20% before 2020 through research and education. We are all here to support the American Heart Association for our own personal reasons. Ours is family. At age 42, my father had a heart attack, but thanks to personnel trained in basic life support and advanced cardiac life support through the American Heart Association, we were able to keep him around for an additional 24 years. So join us in helping raise money so the American Heart Association can carry on its mission to reduce the burden of cardiovascular disease in America. Please bid on the silent and live auction items, and let's have a great night. Please be careful and responsible on your way home. And yes, Dorothy, we do have over 20 stores in Kansas for you and your little dog too.
Hi, I'm Rich McGuire from Black Hills Insurance Agency. It's with great enthusiasm that we continue to support the American Heart Association and our local heart doctors in their collective mission to prevent cardiovascular disease and stroke. Through education and quality of care, they continue to improve the lives of patients and their families in our community. We appreciate the opportunity to participate in this process. Thank you again from all of us at Black Hills Insurance Agency for coming out tonight in support of this great event. We hope you enjoy your evening.
Hello, I'm Jody Bender, President of U.S. Bank. On behalf of all of us at U.S. Bank, we are a proud sponsor of the 2018 Rapid City Heart Ball. This is an important event when we gather together to raise money to build healthier lives. Tonight, we will hear stories of wisdom and courage from the many people who have saved lives and those whose lives have been changed. Thank you for your past and continued contributions. Together, we are making a difference in hearts. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of our entire staff at Robert Sharp & Associates, I'd like to welcome you to this year's Heart Ball. We all know someone or a close family member that has been impacted by heart disease, and the dollars that you help raise here this evening will go a long way to help those affected. I'd like to again applaud Robin and the great efforts of all the volunteers, the donors, the doctors, and their staffs, and to congratulate tonight's honorees for all they've done and are doing to fight heart disease. This would not be the event it is without the great efforts of all of you, even if you've just come to have dinner. So tonight, as we celebrate the advances made and the lives saved by the great work of the American Heart Association, I'd like for you to open your hearts and those wallets and bid up each item well beyond its value so that it becomes a win-win for everybody involved. Because remember, it's all about raising money, lots and lots of money. So have a wonderful time, another cocktail or two. And again, on behalf of Stacy, myself, our family, and our associates, we'd like to thank you all for being here and for showing your support of our local American Heart Association.